So I'm actually trying some new performance enhancement drugs tonight. So if I seem a little funny, it's probably just the meds. Or my jokes. But probably the meds. Actually, I used to think that I was too depressed to be a comedian. And then I realized I'm actually too depressed to not be a comedian. Also, I used to be an optimist, but then things didn't really turn out the way that I planned. So now I'm a pessimist and things are going much better. I went home recently to visit my parents. I like going home, you know, it brings back lots of memories, like why I left. I don't usually like to exercise, but I do spend a lot of time running from my past. When I was little, I ran away from home and nobody noticed. Years later, I ran away to Hollywood and nobody noticed. But the second that I drive with expired tags, exactly. My mom and I are a lot alike. She's a vegetarian, and I'm a vegetarian. She cries very easily during movies, and I also cry really easily during movies. She turned down Harvard, and I also didn't go to Harvard. But I heard that Steve Jobs dropped out of college and made like $1 billion, right? So, not to brag, but I actually dropped out of college twice. So, you do the math. No, seriously, you do the math, because I can't multiply. I really think if I had more money, I could make a lot more jokes at my own expense. My dad's in a wheelchair. What's so funny? My dad's in a wheelchair. He's been in a wheelchair my whole life, which has always been a little hard, you know. But I think it's made me a much stronger person. Like, have you tried pushing a grown man around in a wheelchair? It's a workout. I tend to attract a lot of father figure types in my life, and they always say that I'm lazy, I'm self-absorbed, and my life's a mess. At least my real dad gave me an allowance to listen to that crap. I just moved to Brentwood. It was either that or buy a yacht. But moving's really a pain, you know, like I had to go through all my stuff, and I'd say the hardest part was going through my closet, because between you and me, it took me like 5 hours just to pack the skeletons. I've been dating a lot, and you know, it's hard just because I feel like sometimes guys can be a little rude, you know? Like, I just hate when they promise they're gonna call me and then they never do. You know, just because I always give them the wrong number doesn't mean they should treat me like I don't exist. I have feelings too. Though I think I'm getting a lot better at figuring out if a guy isn't right for me. The first little red flag is he breaks up with me. That's pretty much the only flag I need at that point. This one guy said, "Whatever you do, do not fall in love with me." Man, it is such a turn on when guys tell me what to do. I have a little problem with commitment. Never mind, that joke was going to be lame anyway. A lot of guys get really turned on by my voice. I think it's because they're like picturing a 15-year-old without the consequences. My ex-boyfriend always said he didn't think death was so bad because we experience so much pain in life. And I think he's really right because now he's dead to me and I feel so much better. Some people think my humor is too dark, but they're just racist. When I was little, I was compared a lot to a young Drew Barrymore. Then as I got a little older, I got a young Heather Graham. But now, I kind of like to think of myself as a washed-up Dakota Fanning. A lot of my friends on the East Coast are like, oh my God, you live in LA, like you must see celebrities all the time. And I'm like, yeah, we have TV here too. I had this audition the other day to play a Swedish secretary. So there were a lot of blondes in the waiting room. And I overheard this Japanese guy say, they all look the same. And I was like, hey, that's racist. And he goes, blonde isn't a race. See, this is where the dumb blonde stereotype comes from. And I was like, wait a second. I thought all Japanese guys love blonde girls. And he goes, I'm Filipino. Such an idiot, right? I mean, I didn't even ask for his name.